What is up, my Squirtle Desire King? Welcoming you to another update. This week, I have a few things to talk about, a little bit more than usual, but I'm not really going to dwell on any of them too much. So it still actually might be one of the shorter updates. But first things first. Oh, hold on, I got it. Hold on. There we go. All right. So the Nintendo Selects lineup released. Thank goodness. Now I can actually afford a Nintendo game instead of having to pay full price. I don't like paying full price for games very often, honestly, and Nintendo just never likes to lower the price of their games. So, I got Ocarina of Time 3D, and even though most people know I don't like this game, I kind of got it just to complete the collection. I have Majora's Mask 3D, Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker. I don't have Wind Waker HD yet, and I have Majora's Mask on the actual N64 cart as well. So I just kind of added the collection. And then I got the two Donkey Kong Country games, Tropical Freeze and Returns. So, yeah. So those are the games I got. Those were really the only ones I was planning on getting that were actually part of it or didn't already have. So, yeah, that was pretty nice. I'm glad I'm able to finally get those and add to the Nintendo collection a little bit. I now have 3 Wii U games. I am so stoked. Oh, my gosh. Man, I really wish they would do that more often, or just at least lower prices in games. And I'm not going to ramble on or bash Nintendo or anything, but it is a little bit frustrating being trying to go out and get Wii U games. I want to get Smash Bros, but I can't because I can't afford it because it's so expensive, and I could get, 5 games on my PS4 for the same cost. So, what are you going to do? So next thing I want to talk about actually is kind of... it's not too personal a thing because I'm not into Fable that much, but there is a portion of Lionhead Studios that is kind of important to me. So yeah, Lionhead Studios is closing down. Fable Legends got canceled. I could care less about that. But it is kind of sad to see because actually one game I grew up with and played a ton of was a game called The Movies. And while, yes, it was a little bit overrated, I actually really, really enjoyed that game and would love to do videos on it at some point. It was kind of like an RTS slash Roller Coaster Tycoon slash The Sims kind of... not really an RTS. It was a Roller Coaster Tycoon kind of thing. So Tycoon game meets The Sims in like a Hollywood setting. So you had to maintain your own studio, put out movies, blah, blah, blah. You could even kind of create the movies in the game and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. It really, really was. I enjoyed the game to death. And, yeah, I have really fond memories of it. And it's kind of sad to see Lionhead Studios being closed. I know that Sony is making an effort to try to get a bunch of them hired onto another studio. Or I don't know if it's going to be a new one or already existing studios, which that's pretty good. Saving people's jobs is incredibly important. And, you don't want to, these people don't want to be put out of work. So I definitely respect everybody that's trying to reach out to these guys and make sure that they continue to have, they continue to be employed. But, on top of that, though, or I guess, actually, I'd say beneath that, it is going to be sad to see Pretty Legendary Studio go. Because even though I don't care for Fable, Fable was really an integral part in getting the Xbox on its feet from the very get-go. So, it's kind of crazy seeing them go, but yes, it happens a lot. It was crazy when THQ went under. It was crazy when oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually forgetting the names of these companies, and yet I'm saying, oh, they're so memorable. But there were some of them that were crazy. I think Midway went under too, and they made a lot of great games. There's some of them that's just like it blows your mind that they're gone. It's really crazy. But yeah, so that kind of sucked. On a happier note, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition released a couple days ago, and I already released the 3 episodes I was going to do for that, because that's really all there was for the DLC content. Now, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition released at $20, which is the cost of the base game when it launched last year, and if you already had the original game, you only had to pay $5 for the add-on, which I think is plenty reasonable. You're getting, 45 minutes to an hour of extra content, and 2 new abilities that get you, enhance the experience of the game, more difficulty options, more achievements to get. It's just $5. I think that's plenty, just for that little of content. I think that's fine. I really don't see what the problem is with that. It has basically made the game as perfect as I could possibly hope it could be. Like it's great. It's great. Ori and the Blind Forest is an amazing game. I've praised it enough. I'm not going to sit here and praise it like crazy, but if you don't have it already, please go pick it up. The Steam release isn't out yet, though. I guess I should mention that. So, never mind. Wait till the Steam release if you can. If you don't have access to it on a computer, try to get an Xbox at least. The only thing is, Xbox is 30 frames a second. It has a couple crashing issues. I think it's definitely the inferior version. If you can, get the PC release, because that is the best way to play this game. And then another thing that's actually coming out soon, and I've already talked about this a bunch, is Pokken Tournament. And I am going to be doing videos on that as well, intermingled with everything else. It's probably going to be released the same way I did Ori. I'm just going to put up a bunch that day. But I mean, I'm going to get acquainted with it first, actually, for a day or two. I'm probably going to release them on Sunday, even though it comes out on Friday. So yeah. So look forward to those as well. I'll try to show off. I don't know if I'm going to do like character things or if there's like a story mode, I'm just going to play through that. But we'll see. I'm super, super excited for this game. I mean, always happy to get into a new fighting game. And it's going to get me away from Destiny for a little while, because I need to until that thing has a content update. And then I can, I'll have a fighting game again, because, my last one was Tekken Revolution, and I was pretty big into that. And, I'll be big into Tekken 7, too, when that comes out. But for now, Pokken, and I'm pretty excited. So, next thing, and speaking of Destiny, actually, so I haven't done any Destiny videos lately. Not even the clips that I just kind of posted straight from the share feature on the PlayStation 4. I think I might go back to doing that every so often, just because, well, to be fair, there have been some major improvements made to the PvP game, so I'm actually able to compete and actually have fun footage for you guys to post, so I can do that, which is pretty nice. And also just because, why the heck not? It's not like it's taking the place of anything else. I'm just uploading it straight from the PlayStation 4 whenever the heck. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just going up. You don't have to watch it. It's just there. It's just gameplay. And yeah, it's just something to show. Sometimes it's funny moments. Sometimes it's me thinking I'm awesome, even though I know there's hundreds of thousands of people that are better than me at the game. I mean, that's all it really is to it. So I might be posting those here again soon. I don't know. I actually have a couple that are sitting on my channel on private right now that I might upload here soon, but we'll see. And then the last thing I want to talk about, and the thing I wanted to actually talk about the most in this update, is cross-platform play, and that is relevant to today, which is technically yesterday. So there was this announcement with Rocket League coming out for the Xbox One, that it was going to have cross-platform play with PC. And they're saying it should also have cross-platform play with PS4 as well. So Xbox is trying to open up cross-platform, is what they're trying to do. And it is kind of up to PlayStation to, meet that. So there's a few things here. There's a few issues. There's potential issues at the moment. There's also potential problems with, either side agreeing. But, of course, there's a lot of good things. So let's start with the issues with this. For one, Xbox Live and PlayStation Network kind of clashing together has me concerned. Because both of them have their problems. I would say overall Xbox Live has proven itself to be the more superior network, but it also still has problems, especially over the last few months. There was a lot of times where there was a lot of instances where it just went down. But they have their issues, separate issues as well, and I have no idea how that's going to work if they start bogging each other. Will they start bogging each other down? Will they just completely clash and not work all together, even if they try? I don't know how that is. I'm not knowledgeable of that stuff, but they're concerns. They're definite concerns. And then also, trying to integrate it as well. There could be a lot of bugs in that. There could be a lot of things that could even screw up the multiplayer altogether in doing that. And it is up to the developers to decide if this is okay. And then another problem is, of course, the worry for the companies about competition. I know everybody likes to say, well, it's anti-consumer if you have exclusives, but it doesn't matter, okay? Sorry. Pepsi has Dr. Pepper. Coke has, Cherry Coke. I mean, you can't change that. You can't. Like, that's just how competition is. That's how these companies make money. Yes, it's anti-consumer, but so is all competition. At the same time, competition is also healthy for progress. It is how companies try to work to beat each other out and thus make better advancements. It sucks in some respects, but it's good in other respects. The good doesn't necessarily outweigh the bad, but unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about it because they're not going to just say, we're just all going to come together and hug. They're not going to do that. I'm sorry, that's not how business works. That's how it's been since the beginning of time. That's how competing companies work. Exclusives are how they get away with it. I'm not saying I think it's okay, and I'm not saying I defend it, especially me being the guy that has every single console, but, like, that's just how it works. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. However, that being said, this particular thing I don't think affects competition. I think in fact, what this does is it narrows down the consumer's choice not to, because that is a thing, one reason to pick an Xbox One over PS4. At least, well, kind of, I guess. Is that's one thing people take into consideration. Xbox Live is traditionally better. It doesn't go down as often. It doesn't have as much maintenance as PlayStation 4, and it doesn't need as much maintenance. So that is one reason. If people that like to just, buy Call of Duty, just like to buy their online multiplayer games, and that's all they play, and those are the only kind of games they play, and they just kind of play them casually, they're going to want the system that has better networking. Well, if cross-platform comes into play, that kind of eliminates that. And really, it would just boil down to exclusive software, which console you get. That would really be all it boils down to at that point. So, could also be good for both systems. On the flip side, if you've been watching at all how Xbox has been behaving the last few weeks to a few months, they're kind of giving up. Not at least giving up on trying to, push, console competitiveness. They are, trying to be very PC friendly, but only kind of, because the Windows Store whole debacle is kind of shit. But once they get that through their thick heads, I think they'll be okay. But yeah, they're trying to, they're trying to put their games on PC, which is good. There should, games. I feel like all Xbox games should be on PC personally. I mean, I think PlayStation games should be too, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Nintendo games should be, but I also know that's not going to happen aside from emulators. And, it's a good thing, and that's what they're trying to push towards. Now they're trying to do the same thing with other consoles, and, I support that. I think that's a good idea. There's also been rumors that the NX is trying to, match up hardware with Xbox and Sony, and it's possibly even going to work with other consoles. Maybe that's what they're trying to push for. Maybe that's what all the companies are trying to push for. They're trying to work and integrate with one another in some ways, but not every way. I don't know. Maybe, if I'm going to be super, super optimistic about that, maybe they are all just going to work together. Their exclusives won't exist anymore. You'll see Uncharted on every single system. You'll see Mario on every single system. In some fantasy world, that's the best I could hope for. I would love that. That would be so awesome. There's nothing I'd love more than to play Legend of Zelda or Mario on my PlayStation. I'm just telling you right now, I would absolutely love to do that. But I don't think that's going to happen. That being said, all this cross-platform news is really cool. Do I think it's going to be capitalized on at least or even soon, if at all? Well, definitely not soon. Maybe a few more years down the road. Maybe the next console generation. We'll see more of it. But I think Rocket League is really going to be the minority for a while. It's going to be one of the few games that it's just like everybody can play with everybody. I don't think you'll be seeing it in other AAA games for a while. I mean, I guess Rocket League isn't a AAA game. In AAA games in general, of course you won't see it in exclusives and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of problems, and I know people are jumping the gun and saying, "Oh, this is great," and it is great. It is great, but I don't think it's something to be, exploding over unless Rocket League really is the only game you play, and I know a lot of people absolutely love that game. So in that respect, yes, it's awesome. It's really, really awesome, and I would love for more to happen with this. I just can't see it happening anytime soon. But we'll see. Who knows? I could be completely wrong, and you know what? I would love nothing more. So that was all I wanted to really talk about in this update. Yeah, definitely a shorter update than usual, but I mean, there really isn't too much. I mean, channel-wise, it's kind of the same as what happened last week. I mean, Rise of the Tomb Raider is still going. It's got maybe, well, I guess when this goes up, okay, including today's video, it's got maybe 7 episodes left. So yeah, I think 7, perhaps 6, but probably 7. And then it's Soul Silver. I need to weasel Fallout 4 back in there as well. I'm super ahead on Fallout 4, yet I haven't been uploading anything, which is a crying shame. I'm literally like 35 episodes ahead. Like, I kid you not. So I probably should get around to editing and actually uploading those, just because. Might as well. We need to get that Let's Play moving, since it's kind of going to be around forever anyway. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.